Your news feed is working really hard to give you a heart attack. That's not a bug, that's the business model. There's an entire industry built around this, a very profitable one, based on one simple idea. A scared Canadian is a clicking Canadian. And by the end of this, you'll be able to spot the manipulation in about 30 seconds flat. I'll show you exactly how it works.
The Sanity Project, where reason beats rage.
But first, let's look at what you're actually up against here. A new headline drops: Iran, NATO, tariffs. And within minutes, your feed turns into a full-blown digital panic room. Everyone's shouting, everyone's terrified. But here's the thing they don't tell you. The point isn't to inform you. The real goal is to light up your nervous system. Because a scared viewer, or honestly, a pissed off viewer, is an engaged viewer. And that's how they turn geopolitics into this massive, sprawling rage click engine. Now, and I want to be upfront about this, we're going to look at two of these viral stories. One says NATO is collapsing, the other says tariffs are killing our economy. Both are useful, both are worth your time. We'll look at this through a Canadian lens, with a bit of wit, because when the world feels like it's on fire, your first move probably shouldn't be grabbing a gasoline can of hot takes and just pouring it everywhere. You know? First up, the NATO collapse narrative. Right on cue, the posts start flowing, NATO is fracturing, Europe is defenseless, our security is under immediate threat. The language is never subtle. It's always doom, collapse, the end of everything as we know it. And I want to pause here for a second, because this part matters. They want you to picture the map going red. Wolves at the door. All of it. But this isn't analysis. It's, honestly, a pressure tactic. When it feels like the walls are closing in and institutions are crumbling, something very specific happens in your brain. You get primed for extreme solutions. You're more likely to click, share, panic buy gold, or back the guy who says he alone can fix it. Fear isn't a side effect here, it's the product. And right now, the people selling it are doing very, very good business. So let's look at reality. And fair warning, this part's a little boring. That's intentional. According to NATO's own data, not a think tank, not a blog, 2024 marked the 10th straight year of increased defense spending across Europe and Canada. 10 years. And since Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, that increase has accelerated sharply. We're talking hundreds of billions in commitments, troops repositioned east, and a functioning pipeline delivering aid to Kyiv. That's not collapse. That's an alliance that got a very expensive wake-up call and responded. Slowly, sure, but it responded. Alliance adapts slowly and expensively, just doesn't hit the same way, does it? From a Canadian perspective, this is actually pretty boring stuff. Stability, that's the goal. Stable Europe, stable trade, secure Atlantic, open shipping lanes. Panic helps none of that. It just helps the people selling it. And think about what you'd have to believe here. That a 75-year-old military alliance, arguably the most successful in history, just evaporates because of one bad news cycle. That's not analysis. That's confusing drama with decay. So here's your checkpoint. When a story gives you pure emotion with no actionable detail, pause. If all you're seeing is collapse, doom, chaos, and no next steps, they're selling you a feeling, not a fact. And keep that in mind, because it gets even more obvious when they come for your wallet. Let's check the tariff panic narrative. You've seen the headlines. Right on schedule. Like clockwork, the panic shows up again. The claim? These tariffs are the final nail in Canada's economic coffin. Total betrayal, end of the relationship. Livelihoods destroyed. And if that gave you a real sense of dread, that was the point. The machine worked. This is the same playbook. Every few years, new date, same script. They take something real, a complex policy, and strip out all the context. Trade rules, exemptions, scope, gone. What's left is just the scary part. Polished, amplified, designed to hit your anxiety, not explain anything. It's actually pretty efficient. So let's slow it down for a second, because, like I said, the boring part is where the truth usually lives. Our trade with the US runs on the USMCA. That hasn't gone anywhere. And even with all the tariff noise, over 90% of Canadian exports still move south tariff-free every single day. 90%? The tariffs everyone's panicking about? They apply to maybe 5 to 7% of trade. And even within that, it's targeted. Steel, aluminum. Not a blanket 25% tax on everything. Not even close. Now, and this is the part I actually want you to hold on to. What this panic does reveal is something real. We rely on one customer, the US, for about 3/4 of our exports. That's a structural risk. That's the real conversation. But it's long-term, it's complicated, and yeah, it's kind of boring. So instead, people panic over price changes on a tiny slice of trade. And the fear merchants? They're more than happy to keep feeding that. Let me be blunt. A few percentage points on a small fraction of trade is not going to kill the Canadian economy. It's a headache. A real one for certain industries, absolutely, but it's not a national death sentence. The rush to declare the entire relationship dead is, honestly, more embarrassing than the policy itself. This is the half-truth tactic at work. They give you one real fact, tariffs are rising, and remove everything that gives it scale or meaning. They're not informing you, they're keeping you engaged. Your job is simple. Ask, so what? If they can't answer that without yelling at you, you've just spotted the manipulation. That's the 30 seconds I promised you. Critical thinking isn't checking out. It's how you stay in the game. It's how you separate signal from noise in a system that profits from confusing the two. You've seen the pattern now: collapsed language, stripped context, emotional escalation with no next steps. You saw it with NATO, you saw it with tariffs, and next time it shows up, and it will, you'll recognize it. Fast. If this helped, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And stick around for more of these sanity checks, because honestly, this is a target-rich environment, and we're just getting started.
If you want more facts and less fear, hit subscribe. Check out the next breakdown wherever you're listening or watching. Stay sane, Canada.